Hello and welcome to another horror review and the continuation of our Clive Barker filmography series. That took a minute to spit out.
That was a lot of words.
Yeah, that was a lot of words, wasn't it? I should have maybe paced myself there. Today we're discussing Book of Blood.
Huge.
2009. We're actually going to continue the Book of Blood series, which is going to take about 5 years, but we'll talk about that in a minute. This one was directed by John Harrison, telling the story of a paranormal expert who discovers that a house is at an intersection of so-called highways transporting souls in the afterlife.
Okay, so it looks like we're not on Facebook.
Highways don't really transport. It's not a travelator. They're highways. The souls transport themselves. They're just there. Do they not know how highways work?
This audio is fucked.
Mine?
I have a constant loop.
Really? God, I guess we're
Ooh.
just having all kinds of fun today. Facebook's down. Your audio's down.
I think it went back up again.
And pause.
Yeah. Love being live. Testing 1 2 1 2. Settings. No, I'm good.
I have a really bad echo loop that's just after someone says something about 3, 4, 5 seconds, it comes right through my ear.
Have you anything on in the background? You're not
Not mine.
Penis.
Let's remove that in case that might be. Bye, Facebook. We'll see you some other time.
Maybe.
Maybe. Nobody comments on Facebook anyway, so fucking. Right. That kind of just ground the whole live stream to a halt. It's like, oh shit, audio edit. Like everything was perfect, and then the minute you hit the live button, bam!
I'm still getting it.
You're still getting it? That's fucking weird. Have you tried turning it off and on again?
It's because you changed your name. Because he went out to change his name, so it went, nah, we're not doing that.
Probably.
We shall. Well, Adam shall return momentarily. Oh man, this is a fun video.
It's live, folks. In case you
Yay.
couldn't tell.
We don't do that. What do you call that? Professional stuff here.
Right, that's fucking stupid.
That was me.
Yeah.
YouTube page open on a different tab.
Fucking asked you. I was like, do you have something else? No.
I'm thinking it's because you changed your name.
I don't do that.
That would be a foolish thing to do.
Again, professional.
Sorry. But I'm being gay over here.
Hey!
Hey.
Fucking hell.
Oh my god. I'm trying to live a principled life. But we're getting fucking screwed over left, right, and center in terms of media, and it's pissing me off because there's no need for it.
No, that's understandable.
But anyway, this movie we all got to watch. That was cool. However, there's about 50 fucking versions of it.
Yeah.
What the hell's going on?
Yeah. And it's great when you find out last second that you watched the wrong version. So you're up until 2 in the fucking morning just so you can be ready for this.
See, I thought it was a 2020 version because I remember that the trailer where the guy goes into this lab / viewing gallery thing and all the doctors come and he's naked and then puts the blood. I thought that's the one I was going to watch.
Uh-huh.
Then I realized it was this one. I'm like, hold on, man, where's that scene? How's this going? And then I was kind of waiting for that while watching this first time. So kind of
same. I thought for sure because when you wrote me, it's like the lab scene. Is there a lab scene in this too? Weird. So I'm getting into it. It's like, wait, this is all in a fucking house.
Yeah, and I'm waiting for
it'll happen at some point, right?
Get the lab scene and then carry on where I remember the trailer, and then it didn't happen. I'm like, hold on a minute, and then typity type. Oh shit! Right, there's the 2020 version, and there's the Hulu TV series. Talk about milking something for all you can get.
I mean, to be fair, I feel like the Hulu movie was a little bit better.
Oh, it was a lot of bit better.
I mean, this one, it had a little bit more gore and it had boobs. I mean, there's that, but
They were nice boobs.
Hold on, did it have boobs or did it just have nipples?
Well, okay, it just had nipples.
Because
that was very shocking.
They were, yeah.
I was
pronounced.
like, oh, okay, cool, we're gonna get boobs, and then goo.
You gotta like you could lose an eye.
Sword fighting. Austin Powers with Fembots.
The whole premise of this film, I think, is a little bit like odd because it's basically bookends. Like the whole show is just bookends of the actual books of blood. So it starts with the Book of Blood, not even a short story, like brief preface.
It's a postscript. It's about
and
4
then it
pages.
has the Jerusalem Street, which is the sort of after closing down of all of the 6 volumes of Books of Blood. So it's not really a film at all. Which to then make it into a film doesn't feel right at all, and they have to sort of like adjust it and change it up and stuff. Do you guys feel sorry for the guy, for Simon McNeil, the medium?
No, he's a cunt. He
Um,
deserved it. Fuck him, man. It's like he's gonna fuck with somebody like that, and fuck.
Yeah,
him.
that's a bit
especially in the Hulu one, but we're not talking about that one.
Yeah, because I was tempted to watch that one as well, but then I knew, come on, this is just like, and jump between the two things, and I was like, nah. So is the 2021 a direct remake of this?
No.
So it's a different story again.
Yeah, it's an anthology basically.
Yeah. It's like a
3
bunch
different
of the stories.
Yeah.
Right. Hold on. Is the 2021 the series, or is that something separate?
As far as I know, it's a series.
I only saw the 2020 movie.
Wait,
I didn't know there was.
Yes, that's why I opened up. I said there's about 50 fucking versions of this thing.
No, wait a second. I thought there was 2. There was the film that we watched, and then which is the 2009, and then there's the Hulu series. Is there something other than that?
I didn't know there was a Hulu series. I only knew there was the Hulu movie.
So there's 2 films and a series.
What?
It's called Book of Blood.
We should look this up.
Yeah. I am looking at. So there's the 2020, which is the Hulu series. There's what else?
Is a Book of Blood or Book of Blood or Books of Blood for the series?
Books of Blood is the Hulu series. Book of Blood is the film. And I don't see anything other than those 2.
Okay.
So we're in this episode, which is just the 2 bookends of the Books of Blood. That's what this film is, which is the 2009 one.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, and then the 2021
I was looking
one.
and getting confused. I thought there was another film as well. I'm like, bloody hell, how many?
Well, the 2020 Hulu release with the screaming head that's actually a book, like that's a movie.
I mean, it's presented as a film, like beginning and end in one thing, but it's a series of short stories in it.
Well, yeah, that's called an anthology.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
It's not a series. A series is like episodic adventures.
Okay.
But okay,
so there's 2 iterations.
Now
both
I
films.
understand what you mean by series. Okay, I'm like, how the fuck am I missing one more thing?
Yeah, okay, right. So if we're splitting up hers now, we've got ourselves on track.
I think
yes.
So I need to find that anthology. Because they're bastards. The world are the bastards.
You do. It's I'm of course against piracy, but yar.
It's but I play a straight game until other people don't, and it's like, okay, fine.
Say, like, the intro of the Books of Blood, I think there's like this one line that I'm sort of paraphrasing, I think, but it's "We are all a book of blood. Open us and we're red." I thought it was just this fun little presentation of that's kind of what we're going for here. Mm-hmm. We want gore and just disgusting experiences out throughout all these little short stories. You're going to get like just straight up horror from this. And just the idea that, like quite literally, he is a book of blood in this film / this bookend story bits. And then, of course, it ends with this really great sort of collection scene and then the repercussions of that. So I don't know. I thought this was a really, really interesting way to present an anthology. Yeah.
Well, and I really appreciated the fact that they actually were quoting the book. Like that's how they opened the film.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then just it's a product of the time. It definitely feels like a 2000s movie. Like the post 9/11 type of filmmaking where it's just gritty and dark and just trying to force as much gore down your face as possible.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was overly done with the gore.
Well,
you know what I mean? The gore was actually it was quite subdued, but it was impactful.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it wasn't
especially the
Evil
scenes
Dead
where...
type, blood slashing.
Yeah.
It was actually done well. Like the opening scene when you see us teenage girl, like that was like right on the knuckle. Essentially getting raped in the fucking bedroom, and it wasn't enough to just rip their face off. And you're like, whoa, let's go.
Yeah, it was pretty intense.
Like, just kind of showed they weren't messing about. But that wasn't over. That could have been hammy as hell. But I thought it was impactful.
Yeah,
one of the best adaptations or spares I've seen in a while.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
what I really
definitely put this up there.
Yeah, what I really liked about it is that it sort of took that sort of medium trope and completely turned it on its head into almost to a like overt slavery thing. Like usually, if it's going to be like a medium in a film or a story, they're going to be investigating and uncovering, but no, not at all. In this particular one, he was the victim, and he just happened to be completely open, and everyone else was taking advantage of him in one way or another. And I really like that sort of twist on that trope, because growing up, that's all me and my friends used to do was try to find paranormal, sounds and sights and go to haunted places. And like, that's just,
I have a thing with paranormal movies and shows and sites and stuff. I just think they're cheesy as hell. I saw one popped up on YouTube, and this guy sitting, he's supposed to be streaming, but he's streaming with a mobile phone instead of
right.
And did you see that? Yoink! It's gone. Let's go looking. Dun 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 dun.
See, I'm less like History Channel, those things, or like Discovery, more like Poltergeist. That's where I'm going with it.
Yeah. But this actually, like the whole thing that the ghosts are stupid. This actually covers that, and does it quite well in terms of they need a translator, an interpreter. So the sort of ghost world, they're trying to get their messages, but they need someone to translate it, or else their stories don't get told, leading to the frustration and anger. And for once, it was actually done well. Where usually every time I encounter, that's why I'm not a big fan of paranormal or ghost stories, because people don't seem to know how to write them. Yeah. And the ghosts are just right, fucking
it's like Haunted Mansion. And Disney shit. I mean, I think that's fair. The way you phrase that is different than the way I would interpret it, because I saw, this is an interconnected location of this sort of spiritual highway.
It's almost like a ley line, same principle as ley lines.
So the ghosts weren't trying to tell their tale. They just happened to have an opportunity, as I saw it, to tell it through his skin. And that's what I thought was really creative and interesting. So it wasn't like they were ineffective in trying to get to the next place. They were just like, ooh,
the previous attempts,
guest list.
That was when they finally figured it out.
Yeah.
And it was Mary that unlocked that, not Sean, which is interesting to us. But the previous attempts are flipping wee girls getting torn apart, and brutalized, and the whole "do not mock us" because and Doug Bradley's character, which they made a whole big thing about Doug Bradley being in it. He's like in for one scene as a nameless character,
half a scene, if that. Like he was barely in that. It was a flash between different characters in the room.
Yeah,
and it's like you almost, if you blink, you miss him.
Yeah, and if you hadn't been pre-warned. But the thing is this where marketing departments need to get a good slap around the head and just wind their necks in? That's not the thing. Yeah, just because of the name, and we all know that could be a nice little Easter egg. But marketing department's like, oh, we got a name, we got to tell you that, as if he's a main bloody character, and you're like, why do that? But they're not doing is annoy people.
Right. I mean, it's obvious why they did it, of course. Hellraiser.
Because marketing people are fucking morons.
Well, yeah, we are. Any fandom is pretty much filled with morons.
Yeah.
But definitely, like you bring up Doug Bradley, it's like bringing up any other like famous horror actor. I mean, I want to see Freddy Krueger if he's going to be in any film at all, because I can't remember the goddamn actor's name. It's
Robert Englund.
Robert Englund. Thank you.
So maybe he's talking about Jackie Earle Haley. Maybe he's a.
Hey, you know what? I will still die on that hill of that being a great fucking movie.
I liked it. I really enjoyed it. For sure.
God, he was in something I watched recently.
Oh, really?
He's a brilliant actor.
He was in something I saw too. Oh, what was I just
oh God, I watched too much shit.
Anyway, yeah,
he's a
I
great
don't know.
character actor.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, 100%. I like this interpretation, the film version of the story, because they had to take a slightly different direction. You know, they couldn't just do what they did in the bookends because there's just not enough.
Yeah, no, it's like 20 pages total.
Yeah, so that to immediately bring in the sort of bounty hunter for the collector to get his skin, I thought was kind of fun, and getting to see like his weird shack was kind of fun and interesting. I don't know. I'm not really buying into like I don't want to like jump to the end immediately, but I'm not buying into the idea that you're going to be punished simply because you have to be punished simply because you took something from someone else.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some sort of like because of the book, the skin. Because spoiler alert, the books of blood are on his skin.
Right.
It's written on his skin. That's the book.
It's just one scene. That's the thing. It's a wee postscript, and it's just one scene.
Mm-hmm.
But that's, I don't know. Like we have seen, and we've talked about like complete adaptations of complete stories and be done horribly.
Mm-hmm.
Yet this idea was taken, and I'm trying to think of the elements because Clive Barker was a producer in this. He didn't direct it.
Real producer though, because he got an executive producer to credit, and that sometimes that's just like, hey, we're acknowledging that you did something with this, so here's a couple of bucks.
This, if you weren't told this was a Clive Barker film, would you recognize it?
Yes. Honestly,
so that's what I'm trying to figure out here.
I guess
what elements...
I don't know. If I was to have watched this separately from reading it and not put two and two together, I would have felt like it was, just because a lot of the locations in this movie felt like what was in the book.
Mm-hmm.
Especially the building where they were in, like that. As soon as they pulled up, like the camera pulls up on it in the middle of the street, it's like, oh yeah, obviously that's where that shit takes place. Like it just felt like what I saw in the book.
We need more ghost stories in Edinburgh. That's a beautiful city. I lived there for a few years. See, like in the winter when the mists, like those cobbled streets that go up around the castle and stuff. See when like winter and mist is coming down those, like it's proper. I'm gonna get taken away to the other world. You know, it's you really do. And there's little alleyways and stuff. Just walking. You know what I mean? And there's modern. You go into the high street, there's modern shops, and you go into these little alleyways and stuff, and it's like you're transported back in time. It's a beautiful place.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Clive Barker referred to this as just a haunted house film, and that's really all it is.
Mm-hmm.
But it's what I'm trying to think. What elements came together to make this actually a really compelling story? Because, like we said, we've seen so many done badly, yet this was done right in that aspect. Because we've seen Midnight Meat Train had to be all expanded out because it was too short. This is only a paragraph. So, what went right here?
Well, conceptually, I think they got the concept right. The idea of the spiritual highways meeting at this juncture, and the way they visually presented that, I thought was really intriguing. I mean, I think that's part of it. You know, I mean, other than that, it's really just the victim who is sort of telling the ghost's stories through his skin, and then the collector that sends his sort of hunter to collect that skin. I mean, you know, they're very tiny little story beats, but you put them together and they sort of wrapped in an engaging way. And I thought the actors weren't stellar, but they did what they were supposed to do, which was, you know, enough.
And see, I feel like it's the fact that there was so little story to go on that as long as they ended and started right, anything in between was going to work.
Right.
Yeah. Whereas like something like Midnight Meat Train, there was enough of a seed of a story, but they just couldn't hold to it as well.
Yeah, and it just completely derailed. Pun. Yeah, like Jerusalem say, it's more like flash fiction than a story. It's just an interesting one to take. One of my major gripe is this is set in Edinburgh, and you've got a waitress in a British cafe going around with a coffee pot. We don't do that shit here.
Why? Because you guys don't like happiness?
Obviously not.
Like I'm not sure I understand.
Right? There's this wonderful stuff called tea.
Oh God.
You fucking mug.
Yeah, we call that water.
Yeah.
Or Gatorade.
That's what we call that's what we call American beers.
Yeah, that's fair. That tracks.
Yeah.
Why do they have to do this? There's no need.
Yeah,
If you don't say, can you not recognize it as a cafe unless the waiter's going around the coffee pot? Is that what it is? Do you just get confused? You go, I wonder if they're in a strip club because there's a waiter from a coffee pot. I know what it is. Like, come on, what?
I mean,
Why?
isn't this a British film made by British people in Britain?
Yes.
So you tell us.
Some London twat must have got involved. That's my only explanation. Some fucking
just trying to be American Junior is all.
Yes, fucking London. That is London, actually. Every cunt here is like, oh, be American.
Bunch of fucking idiots. I don't even want to be American.
Oh, damn it!
I'm proud to be American.
Yeah, I don't get. It's just weird. Like they must have had they've imported that coffee pot thing in as well. Especially for that scene.
All right, so whenever I come over to visit, I'm going to bring a coffee pot,
definitely,
and an American flag, and then just scream "Manifest Destiny" and start throwing coffee at people.
I'll direct you down to Speaker's Corner. You'll fit right in there. Get you a box, a little wooden box, and you stand on it, and you can do that shit.
Yeah, fuck yeah, that sounds like
actually a thing in London. It's called Speaker's Corner, and that's where all the fucking agents of the day just like meters away from each other, just spout all sorts of stuff.
Wow,
sounds magical.
That is why you need coffee to normalize your temperament.
Nah, it's more fun just get off rails. It's all civilized and polite until we're not. Now it's like eating babies.
Yeah.
I believe it. I think I read that in a book once.
An interesting thing was that Wybird, the collector, sort of mercenary type, he knows what a book of blood is instantly. So just the way he's speaking hints that he's encountered it before. It's a common thing in certain circles, and there's more than one.
See, that's funny because I kind of took it as just his employer knew what the fuck to describe it. Excuse me. But I mean, I love that idea. There's multiple books of blood.
It was just the way he said it because the employer wouldn't, would have just had the description of him. And scar
well, I think the employer had more than one, and he was like, right? Wasn't that the implication? Was that this is just one more that the employer is trying to collect?
Shit, I don't know.
Yeah, but he's not. Or
in either case, I thought it was great. I mean, having
the ending bit's the bit that because I saw it coming a mile off
mm-hmm.
the very end bit, but then it didn't make sense the way he described it.
Yeah.
So I wonder what happened there.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Stephen King wrote it.
He jumped in just
possibly
getting involved with Clive Barker stuff.
Oh my god, I would fucking cream my panties so much. That's a crossing of streams we need.
Someone like he put one of his shitty fucking tweets up recently there, and somebody else retweeted him going, "Sober people aren't all like this, I promise." Just fucking bitter, and you're like, mate, just fall off the wagon. Also, you'd be happier. So you're fucking just sitting there going.
Is this what social media is?
Yeah. There's a reason I keep trying to check out of it.
Because of this shit, I have to do it. Also, if I could make it and get a social media manager, I'd just like hands washed, all yours, just concentrate on making shit.
Right. It's like if I ever
don't
own a business for some reason, that's it. All of it's getting deleted except for TikTok because I like my animal videos.
Ugh. That's all right. You go a place I can't follow.
Hey man, it's just once the fucking robot in the machine figures out what you like, that's all you see. It's just cute animal videos and cooking stuff. Yeah.
Instagram's like that, but then every so often the feet pics start appearing. But like the fucking start sneaking in, and you're like, oh, then you start fucking like not interested. You have to do it about 5 times. It's like a ritual for them to vanish again, and then it goes back to normal, and then a couple of months later they start reappearing. You're like, the fuck?
Yeah, I'll just stay out of it.
You should. You absolutely should.
Yeah, plus, you can't help yourself either. So at least I can detach and not get involved in arguments.
I am an addict when it comes to commenting.
You're just like, just wind you up and watch you go. Caps lock!
Exclamation marks! Yeah. No, it's better for my health and for everyone else's view of me as an insane person to not be on it.
Just a little bit.
Right, back to this movie.
Oh yeah,
that's
let's remember by yeah, well, people are. Anyone's watched this knows that at least if there's not at least 5 tangents during this, is it really a stream?
Right.
Yeah, that's how we know it's not pre-recorded. Because when Mary and Reg first entered the house, I had concerns.
Oh man, I was so excited
because I thought, oh fuck, another paranormal movie.
And that's why I was excited. It's like, oh, it's gonna be a cheesy ghost story. Sweet. I'm a sucker for those, man.
I just, like I said, just the way they're done. If they're done more like this, I'd be on board. If I'm honest.
Yeah.
This could sway me. Now, if you could do a found footage film like this, you might be able to convince me. But
I mean, fuck, what was that last one we reviewed? That one on Shudder. That was pretty close to this.
Wait, a film?
Yeah.
Shudder that's like this?
Yeah, it was a found footage. It's like a live stream video.
Oh, Deadstream.
Oh,
Deadstream.
That was awesome.
Oh, that was sorry, that was.
That's like the only time anybody's ever come close to doing something, that good.
Yeah,
just because it's self-aware and funny. I mean,
yeah.
This is serious.
I laughed a lot.
I think some of the stuff just that.
I mean, as soon as the hot dogs came out, I was laughing a little bit. I was just like, "What the what? That's whoa!"
I don't know if you give the current area complex.
I was like, yes, it's 2009. Definitely going to get some full frontal uncut schlong.
It's like they're A24 before A24 became a thing.
Yeah,
right.
Because they love serving up meat and 2 veg every fucking movie.
I feel like that's a British thing, right? Americans are really good about not showing junk.
Oh well, of course, because
we cut out
our sensibilities, our delicate sensibilities. We can see all the blood and gore and violence in the world,
which is the bits we cut out.
Yeah.
If you get a bit of shit that everybody has on this planet, then that's an abomination.
Yeah, it was like when we did the Hammer House of Horror series. Like that was in terrestrial TV.
Yeah, and that's just out and about.
The Carry On films. If you ever check those out, fucking Barbara Windsor with absolutely magnificent set you had on her. That was like fucking middle of the day, Saturday afternoon type shit.
See, I feel like there was a period of time in the late 80s and early 90s, surprisingly enough, where that was a thing. Like regular ass non-cable television, you could see a little bit of nip-nop, and it's like, whatever happened to that? Like the rehashing of Outer Limits, Tales of the Dark Side? I don't remember, but there were like shows that would come on at like 10 p.m. this area, and you'd just see that, and it's like right after the news.
Wow.
Yeah,
I don't remember that at all.
But there was a sense of fun. That's gone now. Because we're like in a Puritan age. You know what I mean? The new Puritans fucking police everything.
I don't know. I'm getting the sense that most, like nowadays, everyone's trying to add modern sensibility to everything. And that somehow makes it better, but it doesn't. And everything flops that way. I just watched a film on Shudder that was this sort of rip-off, like a really bad rip-off of like The Shining, but it's all with queer folk. And my entire like head dialogue watching the whole thing was just like, you don't have to like showcase queer people because everyone's fucking queer. Like you don't have to like find the most extreme example of what a queer person looks like. That's everyone. Just look out the window.
You mean don't be a two-dimensional cliche?
Yeah. Just
and then you wonder why people don't get support.
It's so bad. Like this stupid film I just watched was so bad. Anyway, that's the sensibility I'm getting, is because that wouldn't exist if people were like, we need representation, except that every film in Hollywood is made by gay men. Like all the fucking Westerns, all the fucking old school horror, everything's made by queer people. Like, because everyone's fucking queer. Sex is and gender is not much of a scale, but sex is a scale, you know? I mean, it's not like a black and white yes and no. So I don't know. That's my interpretation of everything. Like even with this to some degree, you know, I mean, it's like we have to present this very forward thinking presentation of how paranormal is presented. And this girl is sort of like, you know, getting all completely naked and falling in love with this guy. I don't know. I might be talking out of my ass.
Excuse me. I actually appreciated the sexual tension in this because they got it right. And it's a thing that people are afraid of with Barker material is the actual sexual content.
Mm-hmm.
But this actually managed to include sexual tension and make it part of the horror story rather than just being something here's some sex because
right.
Yeah, they definitely did do that right. Like when she wakes up from the dream, it's so jarring. Like I heard you crying. Yes, crying. I wasn't.
Yeah, that's what it was.
That's what happened.
Yeah, but that was all done well, and it fitted with the story. So you can do it. Just stop having retards write shit that are just activists. No, that's the key.
Right, there's this thing called subtext that everybody forgot about.
Yeah, because everyone's just like, Rah!
Like that. Those were always
that's what every movie is now.
Movies were the ones where it was, you know, subvertive. Like there was a message, but you had to dig for it, and then you go, oh, okay. Yes, this makes sense. That was beautiful. Thanks for making me think of something. And now it's just, you are dumb. Here is movie. This is what you need to think. Yay!
And then once somebody tells me what to think, my instant reaction is no.
Yeah. Exactly. Trick me into thinking something. God damn it.
Yeah. Don't jump off that cliff. I'm gonna fucking do it, cunt.
Right. It's like, I'll probably be fine because fuck you.
Yeah, if you jump off the cliff, you're a bad person. I'll be a bad person then. Because that's it. Once you get people's backs up, then whatever message you're trying to do is lost instantly. You know, that's people should pick their representatives better. Stop picking all the no-bands. But anyway,
there was a point in this, like the story of it, where just sight. The cameraman, just the sight of this trail of ghosts was so terrifying that he just dropped dead. And there's something in that
he kind of fell off a balcony first.
Yeah, I mean,
that might have
still dropping.
First of all, he died at the side of the highway, and then he died from anything else. But it was first. But I thought that was just really great because we're always presented with this presentation of ghosts. It's like, you know, you're trying to see them, or when you do see them, you're a little bit scared, but there's something really exciting about the idea of it being such a jarring experience that some people just cannot handle it. Like they just seize up and just drop dead out of sheer fright. You don't really see that a lot in films. I feel like maybe like
one that did it right was
back in the day, but... What's that?
The only other one that I think that did it right was Poltergeist.
Yeah.
The paranormal guy, he just got that freaked out that he left the next morning. He's like, no, I'm out.
Yeah.
Can't do this. See it.
Right.
The meat and then ripping his face off.
Yeah.
Ugh. Great.
Yeah, he's just like, nah, that's it. That's I don't want to play anymore.
But I love that stuff because ultimately it would be genuinely fucking terrifying because it's not just like this thing where, oh, hey, look, it's the ghost of Elvis or something, you know, that's like intriguing and you kind of really want to see it. And you're like, is he going to perform or is he going to flip me off? Like, what is Elvis ghost going to do? No, it's like, these are just regular fucking ghosts from everyday people just doing their business, going to the other side, whatever that means. And just the sight of it, you're living in your like sort of bubble so much that can't possibly be a thing, and yet you're still researching it, so you're clearly interested in it, but then the very sight of it is enough to set you off.
It's that whole losing your grip on reality, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's exactly what it is.
Doors being blown open, and realizing how like insignificant and pointless you are, sort of the scheme of things. Like, oh,
yeah, the strength of Lovecraft. I mean, I love that.
Right.
Well,
first, I feel like the only other movie that's gotten that sort of overwhelming feeling done right was like In the Mouth of Madness.
Oh yeah,
like that ending that's how I imagine going insane with a bag of popcorn and a smile on my face.
Watching your own life back.
Yeah, I fucking hope that's how it is.
Have you guys reviewed that on this channel?
Not yet.
We should.
How the fuck have we not done that? That is the greatest fucking
because I can only get you twice a month.
What's that?
I can only get you twice a month. That's why.
That's true. That's true.
Fuck's sake, come on.
Goddamn work. I'm sorry.
You should be.
You could like you set up the camera while you're tattooing away and just make me or we'll get there. Or actually, you're piercing somebody. That'd be even more fun because then you get really animated, like fucking key, and your customer's just like.
It would pretty much be just like everyday life at the shop, anyways. Me dissecting movies and screaming a lot.
Fun times. Yeah, we'll kind of have to do our. Can plan this out. So we're near the end of the series. I think we've got 3 or 4 movies left. So we're either going to do Lovecraft or Universal Monsters. We'll kind of decide, but that'll kind of be the next sort of series. But so much.
A lot of the Lovecraft ones have dropped on Shudder too. Again,
sweet.
They like take them off and put them back on, but they're there.
Yeah, Shudder's a weird one.
Yeah. I'm having a hard time keeping it. It's like I'm going to begrudgingly, but I'm always like, is this when I cancel? I feel like this is when I cancel.
I had during COVID, we signed up for an annual plan, and we paid for the annual plan once, and I haven't paid for it since, and I've always had it since. So
you're fucking lucky, man. I just got my reminder that I have to pay for it again. It's like,
oh, really? Try doing it once just for annual, or do you do it monthly or annual?
No, I do annual.
Oh, okay. I guess I'm just lucky then.
Yeah.
I had to do it through Prime because I can't get it on the TV.
Oh, shit.
So I couldn't find the app to put in the TV. So I then canceled my Shudder, Shudder, and did it through Prime just so I could watch it, not on a computer screen.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah, it's really hit and miss. I did see a really good one recently that was from 2021 on it, but it's not this film, so we should probably not talk about it.
Yeah. Anyway, let's talk about Simon.
That fucking character got everything he deserved. He was a fucking shit ass.
I totally disagree. I'm going on a limb. I'm Team Sean.
All right. No, when he first came in, he was so cliche when he came into the lecture theater. And I was instantly thinking Quaid from Dread. That's how Quaid should have looked.
Okay.
I agree.
Where Quaid looked in Dread looked like a friggin' hobo. Can't afford friggin' pillowcases.
Yeah.
Pillowcases and coffee. Don't get Colin started.
That's all it takes. That's it. I go for a reasonable person to fucking kill them all.
Man, everybody's got their shit, man. It happens.
Yeah. But he kind of comes in. Didn't seem to be like a threatening character or anything. But Mary's just like, I want some of that. Like, instantly. As like we were talking about American Werewolf in London, the nurse there, the minute she sees young fella. She's just like, I want you.
Mm-hmm.
It's just it's funny the way to do that. Movie's just like target.
I mean,
target.
That's how the world should work. Like the men shouldn't have to initiate anything. We're pointless creatures. Just come at us viciously. That's cool. That's great in my book.
Yeah, they have institutions that actually celebrate that. It's called prison.
Prison, you say?
What is this prison thing? Yeah, just go, and people will aggressively come at you. They're all men, but they will come after you. Yeah, I don't know. I thought the book version of Simon was better than the film version. I don't like the idea of him being able to leave. Like, I like the idea that he's almost trapped there and he's a complete victim. You know,
he's not really though. In the
not
book.
how they put him across in this.
In the movie,
yeah.
Oh.
No, I mean, it's not like that in the movie, but that's why I like the short story better, because he went there at the very beginning to, like, of course, do the stupid, investigation thing, and then he like got caught up and then trapped by someone, right? Like they tied him up or something, right? In the story, am I remember that right?
Yeah, it was the same as the intro to this. It was Wybird, the hunter,
Well, the hunter in the story didn't come until on Jerusalem Street, right? So the setup was just that he was trapped there, and then Dr. Mary Floresco was a skeptic, and she had to go in.
What it was once he revealed himself, because he was there of his own volition.
Yeah.
But once he revealed himself, that's when the dead were like, "Yeah, fuck this guy," and he wasn't even a part of his body anymore. I can't remember if that's in the first book or if that's in Jerusalem.
It's on Jerusalem Street. That,
but yeah, so it explains that he's not
like an entity
talking
through his body. He's not there.
He's like basically a walking telephone.
Yeah. It's definitely the kind you have to go like if you have like a 9,
I mean,
you like
it was
rotary
the 80s, of course.
It's the longest telephone ever. I don't know. I found him sympathetic, especially when you realize that at the very end he's not actually there. Like, I like paranormal stuff where you cannot wrap your hands around it, you cannot be in control of it, and even simply because he is in tune with it is all this required to make him a victim of it. And then he is completely consumed by it, and it actually starts sort of puppeting him, the ghost hand up his butt, talking through his skin.
But if it had stayed with that theme throughout the story, because there was no reason for the deviation. That's the only real bit. That in the coffee pot are the bits that like taking me out of the story. Edit out the coffee pot, we're good. Green screen on a teapot. And I can forgive a lot.
All right, you guys listening out there, fucking fix this movie for Colin.
It's just simple fixes, folks. But yeah, let's start off. Sean, or
Simon.
Sam. Yeah, Simon.
I'm Sean. For doing that. You're confusing me.
But I'm calling him Sam for some reason.
Yeah.
Whatever. The fucking guy.
Solomon.
It's a Sunday. Come on, we can't do any deep thing on Sunday. This is meant to be just
Sunday morning for us.
Yeah. To start off, Simon is that character. He's just trying to get in tune. He's reluctantly dragged in. And then they do this twist where he's faking it all, and you're like, why?
But that was
what did that add?
I don't remember that in the book.
Yeah, no, that's the catalyst for the dead coming to possess him.
Oh, right.
He's fucking around the whole time.
Yeah.
Like the writings on the wall, he even tells her that he hides lead underneath his tongue or graphite or whatever. And that's how he does everything. And how, like, he goes into deep detail on, like, I prepare for hours to do this shit because that's a good hour or so of me flailing around and throwing a fit. Like, I got to build up my strength for that shit.
Yeah. So is that why you see him as unsympathetic?
Yeah, because he's
See, that I don't get that, because that's every showman, that's every paranormal investigator and medium and fortune teller in real life,
and they're all correct.
I enjoy it.
I enjoy it too, but a cunt is a cunt nonetheless.
Yeah, that's it.
God damn.
That's why I just can't take them seriously. And it's so funny because I brought this up before. Paranormal sites and groups completely devoid of sense of humor.
Yeah,
like they're the most ridiculous people on the planet,
dude.
I know they're charlatans, so they're completely fucking. Don't you dare question me, you know? And you're like, piss off.
Yeah, man. Every paranormal investigation I've ever gone on, there's that one person that's just in the corner, like, harumph. I take this very serious, and I am very attuned with the spirit world. And you crack jokes the whole time, and they just look at you like you pissed on their mom. And yeah, I love fucking with those people because that's
well,
just
it's rude not to, you know. They're just beside themselves. Like, beat me, okay, if you insist.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, they're not going to do it themselves. Everyone needs to be taken down a notch from time to time. So
yeah, definitely,
they're not going to do it. It's kind of your job.
Yeah, it's a social responsibility.
Yeah,
100%.
And that's like I said, it's that whole world, and that bit annoyed me because everything up to then they could have just kept it as he was actually in tune. It was a real thing, and just getting more and more frantic. That pacing was good. Once it came out, oh, it's all faked. Then it just went off sideways, and then he came back all that's super weird, aggressive. I belong here, you know. I've got my powers back, and you're like,
that was the part that I felt was weird. And
yeah, and that's where I kind of going, huh?
Like the pacing was, I mean, again, the both stories are only like 10 to 14 pages each, so it's hard to say that the pacing was the same, but it kind of felt the same. But yeah, that was the part that was sort of like, why did they add that where he's like, I'm supposed to be here, fuck you. Like, that was why. Just throw a temper tantrum and go upstairs. You don't need to yell at them.
Yeah, and they're trying to make him out as if he's like psychotic or something. He wasn't.
Yeah,
I don't know where they were going with it because just, and that was the bit of the movie I just kind of stopped and went.
I did feel like the movie was a bit of a slog.
Yeah, it was. They could have taken 20 minutes off that movie and it would have been much more enjoyable.
Yeah.
Like when I hit play and saw an hour and 40, I'm like, oh, fuck. And I'll be honest, man, I dozed off at certain points and I know I didn't miss anything.
Yeah, I may have done the same thing.
Yeah, just what point? Because it was building up okay. As I said, it was building up nicely. What point was it after the dream sequence? I think it was after the dream sequence.
I mean, I don't know. I can't. I saw this 2 weeks ago, so I mean, my memory is not, as crisp. I just remember, like, I watched the sex scenes, I watched him get abducted, and I watched him sort of on the table, and then I just started checking out. I was just like, all right, this is kind of not really interesting to me anymore. Like, if they just would have kept it a tight 30, I feel like they could have knocked it out of the park. Right.
Well, and it's so funny too, because if we were to compare the two movies together, which I know is not fair because you haven't seen it, Colin.
Yeah.
But they're both if I remember correctly, it's the exact same runtime. The 2020 Hulu version didn't feel that long. This one felt like it was an hour and 40. And it was the exact same story pretty much, except the 2020 had an additional story on top of it. And yeah, it just felt so much tighter than this one did.
Yeah.
Thing is, it's not bad. I mean, to your
point, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I did.
Yeah, I honestly, I will probably buy this one. I liked it that much.
I'll just keep
can't be like critics and not nitpick.
Yeah.
Kind of comes with the territory.
Yeah. I don't know. And like the acting, I thought the acting was okay. Like I didn't have a problem with it. I thought, what was his name? The hunter guy.
Wyvern.
Yeah, Wyvern.
Yeah. But his name was Clive Russell. I thought he was great. I thought he did a great job. I actually didn't mind Jonas Armstrong as Simon. I thought he did good. Sophie Ward, I thought, she's good. Like I thought everyone.
I don't understand her. She's an English actress.
Yeah.
And I don't get her.
Oh, she is?
Yeah.
But yet she's the only American in the movie.
She's
Interesting.
born in Hammer. She's a London twat, so probably explains it. She reminds me of that wee girl, that New Zealand one, and Last Night in Soho and Old.
Mhm.
Oh, really?
It has that put on voice that maybe see one or two of her movies, and if she puts on that same sort of voice, then yeah, she's in the same pigeonhole as that actress. That once or twice is in a year is enough for starts grating on your nerves, sort of thing.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. I didn't mind her. I mean, I thought the nipples were aggressive, but other than that, I thought the rest of the acting was good. I don't know.
They were there. I will give them a good solid B+ for their performance.
Yeah.
I bought it. I believed it.
Yeah.
It wasn't Last Night in Ravenwood.
Which is one that I really need to revisit because I feel like I would enjoy it a lot more a second go.
False advertising, let's just say.
Just sigh.
I mean, that's kind of how it ends. Like it's sort of like I don't know.
It does this weird bit, and then it just ramps up. So it comes to like a stutter and and it was a bit after what's her line? Something like "Oh, little liar" or something. And they're getting ready to pack up, and then they have another 20 minutes of scene, which you're like, huh? I think that's probably the bit. We know we checked it. There's 20 those 20 minutes, a bit after discovering and I'm leaving till he comes back. There's I guess 20 minutes of stuff where I'm like,
it didn't
why
need to be that long.
Yeah, I think this could have been a really good film if they edited it more. Like just trimmed it up a bit. You know, make it like a 90-minute or
the
something.
same with the removal guys. Did that need to be there?
No.
I mean, I laughed.
Yeah, but
it didn't need to be that long, and it wasn't really necessary. I mean, I guess it kind of was because it was implying that Simon either was legit psychic or he just is a bullshit artist and can smell other bullshit artists. Like that's how
I got the impression that he was, but he faked it because he didn't know whether or not that would be an actual place where he could connect until it took him over.
But then, is that not the point? If you don't connect, you move on to the place you can. If you're searching, why?
Well, I mean, the whole point was that was a renowned haunted house, right?
And so but he goes what was his end game fake and stuff? That's the bit that gets me. I don't get it.
It's social media. It's popularity. It's sight. It's eyes on you. It's being known as someone who does that. And it's just fame chasing. At least that was my interpretation of it.
I mean, that's how I saw it too.
But he could do it on his own.
That's kind of even how it is in the book too.
Yeah, I mean, if he didn't know that he could naturally do it, I think that's a really good way of portraying it as well, because then it's just the ghost taking over, or it's just the location. It has nothing to do with him at all. It could have been literally anyone else there, and the result would have been the same. So maybe that's it, and maybe that's enough, and that's why Clive Barker calls it a haunted house story, because it's not about Simon; it's about the house and the crossroads.
But then, sort of hint that Mary's the one that opens the door. Oh god, that was weird. The dragonflies.
Yeah, that definitely came out of left field. It's like, what the fuck?
I mean, isn't that the universal thing for spirits? Dragonflies. I'm not even making a joke. I'm being serious.
That's the first time I've heard that.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think maybe I got it from like Mothman or something like that. There's like a show, or maybe it was called Dragonfly, actually. It was like Richard Gere, I think. But it was like the whole thing was that dragonflies were just like cues of spirits. Like they'll show up and then let you know that they're moving on, and then I don't know. It's in my head zeitgeist, and so that's why when I saw it, I was just like, oh yeah, okay.
And it's Kevin Costner.
Okay, my bad.
No,
all white guys look the same to me.
I mean, it's true; they all kind of do look the same.
Silly Yanks.
I will. Ooh, it's on VHS. I guess I'll have to buy it.
You should see it. Memory serves, it was a good film, but that was like back in the late 90s, I think. don't know.
Yes.
I can't remember.
No, that was 2002
Oh, I was in Germany.
with Kathy Bates. How the fuck have I not seen this? Holy
You should
shit!
see it. It's interesting.
Yeah, I'm gonna add this to my queue.
It just goes longer and longer.
Yeah.
It really does. Like that. That's the thing, man. Books and movies are the reason I'm going to be immortal because I can't die until I finish everything. Right?
That's people keep asking me, "Have you read this yet?" I'm like, "No." Fucking how much time do you think I have?
I mean, if you're not reading like 7 books at a time, are you even really reading? I've got books throughout my entire house that it's just like if I'm sitting for a second, I'm like, "Ooh, I'll read this again."
Yeah, I've just started getting back into Judge Dredd again. I'm like, why'd you do this? Fucking rabbit hole you're not climbing out of. Yeah, but yeah, I don't trust dragonflies. I'll tell you why. Back in the day when I wasn't a fat knacker bag, I used to go do this thing called hiking. And I remember this dragonfly landing around. Oh, it's a dragonfly. But little did I know it was a horsefly, which is a
shit! They don't
evil
even
bastard dragonfly in disguise. So I just watched this thing and I'm like, oh, that's lovely. Oh, look, it's trusting me. Dink.
Yeah.
Ah!
Yeah, that is some shit.
And after that, I'm like, anything that has that configuration, fucking, I'm killing it with fire. That hurt. And when you saw the little thing just going right into my skin, you know, it was like slow motion.
Yeah, man.
You.
Horseflies don't give a fuck.
It's like, you know, when a dog takes a shit in the carpet, looks you in the eyes, goes,
yeah.
That's
You
this
deserve
thing.
it.
You just look me in the eyes and go, guess what I'm about today? Fudunk. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
So yeah, after that, I've got to think about
guilty by association now.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I think that sort of wing configuration, just stay away from me. not falling flat again.
Someday a fairy's going to appear and you're like, fuck you!
Fly swatter. Tinkerbell gets swatted.
Yeah.
Yeah, you already brought it up, but Reg, he was that sort of cynical character.
Rich Fuller.
I felt like he was meant to be the comic relief, but he wasn't.
Yeah, they did set it up for that, but there was definitely no payoff. Like he got the "hey, I'm still single" thing, and then that was kind of it.
Yeah,
seemed kind of creepy to me.
Yeah, he's like, look, I've got blue balls here. Would you help me out? No, because you're not a 20-year-old student.
Right. It's like, unless it feels illegal, I'm not in.
You could give him a flipping reach around or something, just help them out for a minute, you know. And then all that tension in the house would have dissipated.
Yeah.
A quick handy, you know what I mean? And fucking 2 minutes, like, it wouldn't even been 2 minutes. Like, he blue balled to hell, so
it would have been.
I would just look at it and he'd fucking go.
Yeah, boom, you know. And then all that plot device. There's 10 minutes of the movie you could have saved.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. That does really remind me of the Shudder film that I just watched too. Because that was a thing in it. Damn it, we have to talk about that someday.
All right, okay. Well,
it sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
But
yeah, so
the scene where he actually dies and then encounters his own body. And it was almost Midnight Meat Train style CGI.
Right, yeah.
It was almost, but just not as bad as the eyeball scene, but it was close.
It was pretty close. Like, that's the thing, is the story and most of the visuals hold up, but anything CG or like overlaid, it's like, ugh. Yeah, this is an early movie.
I don't mind that stuff. I mean, it's the tools they have at hand, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's some really bad CGI.
You see the future. I think why I get annoyed is because that was the beginning of today, and every shit movie CGI freaking boring crap that we see. That's where it began, and they looked at this afterwards in post production. Went, "That's brilliant." Like,
yeah,
no, check yourselves.
Oh man,
that's what. Need to go back in time with a baseball bat to a few of these studios and be like, no, don't do it.
Well, I mean, really, the person we can blame is Peter Jackson.
This is even before Peter Jackson?
No, it's not. No, it's not. This
Hold
is
on.
the fucking Frighteners, man. The Frighteners was the movie where he started using that technology that he was
I'm doing that
ultimately
later,
going to end up.
so we've got that in the thing. I haven't seen that in ages.
Dude, it doesn't hold up
Right.
at all. I mean, it's a fun fucking movie. If you look at it sort of like
I just want to see Arlie Army again. You know.
Oh, he's fantastic in it. But yeah, it's like right on the cusp. It right before Lord of the Rings, which revolutionized everything. But yeah, God, it's rough. I bought the Blu-ray the beginning of the pandemic because it's like, hey, I can't leave the house. That's an excuse to buy more movies that I haven't seen in ages. And I was so
because I'm not going to watch through my current collection. No, that would be foolish.
No, because that's stupid. Duh, everybody knows that. Why watch old shit when you could buy new old shit?
That tracks.
Yeah,
definitely.
That's it. Just did a DVD haul. Like, got bad taste again. Like,
oh
I
man,
this.
I can't wait for that double release that's supposed to come out of Bad Taste. What the fuck was
Meet the Feebles? It's
yeah. Meet the Feebles and Bad Taste. Like, it's supposed to be like a 4K reissue. It's like, yeah, it's gonna be so awesome.
Some movies aren't meant to be seen in 4K.
No, you know what's really not meant to be seen in 4K? Flash Gordon.
Oh my gosh.
Do it. It is terrible.
I mean, it was terrible in its old 360p.
Yeah, it only gets worse.
Yeah, I don't think I need that in my life.
I mean, seeing your own corpse going back to the film, I'm trying to like steer this.
Let's get back to the
on track, fucking nerd.
Whose channel do you think you're on? Fucking trying to do
I like the idea of seeing yourself. Like that's kind of cool. Like
he was more upset being dead than he was, that CGI.
I would be too.
Man there.
Yeah.
Looked more upset. Then he's just like, oh okay. That's what happened.
Yeah, because if you think about it, you don't know how you die. You're dead. Yeah. You don't know the state of your body once you're dead. You're dead. You don't fucking care. But I love the idea that you have to sort of transition somehow. You have to take a journey to whatever else, And the fact that he just stumbles across his own, that's kind of cool. I like that.
I don't know if there should have
been standing alone on this hill.
No, I agree. I would probably try to fuck with myself because it'd be funny to me.
But you'd be dead.
Like, quit hitting yourself. Quit hitting yourself.
The corpse is just.
That's really what postmortem twitching is.
Oh my god!
It's your ghost fucking with your body.
I would do that too. That'd be fun.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't like people when I'm alive, so I'm not gonna be arsed. I'm like, I'm out of here. That's actually, if there's an afterlife, that's gonna really piss me off.
Yeah, man.
If it's like a highway and fucking people, it's like queuing up for something,
right?
Like the reason I don't go a lot of places because the thought
of take a number.
Up, fuck yeah, and you have to encounter people. Like, imagine being in that permanent state of people.
Dude, just the idea of going to permanent sleep, and then you open your eyes and there's something else would just piss me the fuck off. It's like, let me be dead.
That's where I don't get. A lot of religions, they'll go, yeah, if you don't believe in thing, there's nothing afterwards when you die. And I'm good with that.
Right? It's just the end of the night when you go to sleep. I don't want to fucking wake up. That sounds miserable. I'm tired.
I do that. That's the problem. I do that. 3 o'clock in the morning, ding, fucking, fuck, I'm awake. And then I'm fighting myself to go back to sleep. I don't want to do that after I'm finished. That's why
it sounds miserable.
Yeah, that's why it's called a dirt nap. That sounds like fun. Just finally, I've annoyed enough people on this planet. Now, what care?
Mission accomplished.
Yeah. I've done my job.
Time to go. Because it's funny. You realize over the years how many people head you live in rent free. And it's just you don't even know who they are, and they're sitting obsessing over you. You're like, okay, that's gonna be fun. I've got a whole lifetime of this. People out there are just fucking Colin. I'll go to death with a spell.
That's how you live forever. You live in everyone else's brains. You're gonna wake up in their heads, reliving like versions of you that they perceive. That's the afterlife. That'd be hell.
Yeah, I was like, that sounds fucking miserable.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to pop into other people's heads every time they think about you. Like, no, oh, stop thinking about me.
Yeah, I'm doing some rewiring them. Honestly, I'm short circuiting people's brains. That's the case.
Right.
I'm like,
Pull the cables out.
Fuck off, leave me alone.
Right. I would just make them all like awkward sex dreams. Then people would stop thinking about me real fast.
Or they
think about it more, and then it kind of defeats the purpose.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
No, that wasn't supposed to be good.
You're not supposed to want this.
Mary's character.
Mary.
She was kind of milquetoast blonde all the way through.
Yeah, she had nothing to do with anything. She just
Yeah.
she was just a witness, ostensibly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's almost if she hadn't been there, and it was just Simon doing his thing with Reg in the background. Might have been all right, but how she goes from just being that, and she's already a famous author, she's already a university lecturer, so it's not that she doesn't have like wealth and power degree, but it's all the same when she was recognized in the street. So how did she go from that to completely batshit crazy?
I mean, I think it's called cock hungry.
That
cock
definitely
hungry.
seems like it.
But
You can't sleep? Let me make you some more milk. You know, when I can't sleep, I masturbate. Give me your hand.
I wish those channel lines would work.
Try that, and it doesn't work that way.
Nope.
Just saying. It's what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, well, it's not gonna do it to itself. Yes, it is, or it can go fuck itself. I'm like, damn it.
That's what I was doing. You interrupted me. Yeah.
Yeah, the whole like looking into each other's bedrooms thing, like they may as well just get on with it anyway, straight up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
But
and it just
she
the,
goes
the awkward standing there while he's just got his bits hanging out. It's like, are you gonna go in? Or are you just gonna be a fucking weirdo? Like I feel like she should have been behind or like just outside the door, just kind of peeking around like
and they're just standing there going, it's a penis.
I haven't seen one of those in years.
Well, she had it on tap. You know what I mean? Reg was back. Like, come on, just a handy something. Come on, I'm fucking blue ball here. Help me out. Help a mate out. You know. No. Oh, yes.
I don't want to be mates with someone if that's what we have to do as mates. It makes Man Camp really gay.
Not just regular.
Yeah, not
just as gay as it is, but like tornado dicks. Dick-nado.
Fuck-nado.
Now there's a movie.
Just watch your eyes. You don't want it in your eye.
No, but afterwards she just because of course white hair means evil as well. Like wasn't grey, just pure white. I just becomes an evil bitch. Like that just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, once you're satiated with the wiener, you know, you just sort of go, "What the fuck am I doing?" Like, yeah, go crazy a little. It's the refractory period for women, right? They just go insane.
Yeah, it's just like, why did I do that?
Like if she maybe it had been better. She had been like tender to him or something, you know, and still tending but writing down and doing the same thing and a bit of love story, and then him just not being able to handle it anymore. And actually another collector kidnapped him. That bit would have fit better, I think.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, if had just went out to the cafe or somewhere else and got kidnapped because people were aware of him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the thing I didn't quite understand, because we get the end of the movie where he is a captive and he gets tied up to some weird cross thing that I kind of want to build because that looks dope. And she's taking pictures. So, you know, recording the story. And then he's just like at a diner by himself. It's like, how the fuck does that transition happen? How did he escape?
Wait, what? I thought that was before.
Yeah, but it's right.
Well, it's the beginning of the movie.
Story.
It's also
the
end
setup, but it's the end. You know, he's telling the story. That's his whole story, and then it's going back to the present, with the situation he's in.
Yeah, so it's like I was confused. It's like, how the fuck does he get out? How does he wind up in this diner?
I thought he was in the Vatican first of all because it looked like a priest, you know, carrying him out.
Yeah, kind of
putting him in the cross, and then you're like, okay, what happened here? And then it's her house. And she's just being a lunatic.
I feel like we've watched like 3 different films.
I think we did.
The way I interpreted it was he like was leaving the house just because he wanted coffee or something, and then the collector grabbed him, put him down, flayed his ass, and then like the collector like got it right. Like I don't get him escaping aspect of it,
because that was he was telling he'd actually run away because she effectively had him as a prisoner.
Okay, I'm gonna have to watch this again,
which was weird because it was still the thing was still happening to him whether she wrote it down or not.
Right.
Well, and it was happening to him whether he had his skin or not.
Yes,
as we see in the end.
So once again, I don't understand this sudden. Like, there's 2 sudden plot twists. Him doing the fakery, which I could have left out for the movie.
Yeah,
because it completely derailed the story. And then this bit of her being a megalomaniac, where he had no choice, no matter it was still happening to him. So the best thing she could do to ensure that it relieved the pain, maybe by transcribing and interpreting the stories, would have went better than her just being, I'm making lots of money out of this. Back to your dungeon, bitch. You know.
I feel like that's the 20 minutes they cut out of the movie is her doing that. With her top hat and cape and
her mustache. She may as well have been fucking doing that when she was sitting in the way she was all like fucking cloak in the fucking ritualized chamber that they set up. Her writing room. Yeah, yes. No, the spirits are speaking to me through you because I'm the interpreter. I'm all powerful. You're just meat.
Yeah.
That was more role playing than we were doing like 5 D&D sessions.
That would have been okay. Like
it
just went over the top of them.
At least you might have got a laugh from it, but the way it was just I don't know. And then if he was doing it for another, this is the Wybird bit. So it's supposed to be another collector. He describes somebody else, but when he's on the phone before he got drowned, it was her that he's speaking to.
Was it?
How did she end up back in the scene again?
I don't know. The drowning part is what drove me insane.
Really? That's funny because that was the book.
Yeah, that was
but
on Jerusalem Street. Just that scene.
No, what I'm saying is the house was like this creaky old like.
Oh yeah, like he can see through the door.
Yeah, like the blood would just seek out of all of the open holes of the shed shack thing.
But was that not the supernatural aspect?
Yeah, that's the thing is I had to just be like, oh well, it's because it's spooky blood. It's not real blood.
It's really thick congealed blood.
It's that whole thing, you know, if you die in your dream, you die, sort of, in real life.
All I'm saying is if they're going to do that, don't present holes in the walls.
Well, okay, and here's the thing. Like, in the beginning of the movie, they kind of set it up when she's like, you know, that there's spooky spirit blood, and it's different. Because she goes into the closet, and this is years after the last whatever fucking happened in that place, and she goes, oh, there's blood in the closet and it's still wet. And it's like, I feel like that should have dried by now. Oh, it didn't. Okay, all right, so we're going with ghost blood. Gotcha.
All right, maybe it's like an ectoplasm blood.
Something got not actual blood because why waste time on that stuff, you know, right? That seeps through cracks and walls and stuff and dries up.
Yeah.
Totally useless to the plot.
Like that drives me crazy, and just watching that, I was just like, dude.
At least it wasn't digital blood. Well, it was about.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, it was. Sorry, excuse me. Actually, was all of it digital? No,
I don't think
the
it was
window was
all.
definitely fucking digital blood.
Yeah. I don't know.
It wasn't the annoying digital blood, at least.
Yeah.
That should be banned from all movies. Once again, this might have been the start of fucking digital blood.
Let's not put everything on this film.
No, fuck it. Let's put everything.
Yeah,
on
this could be like Terminator prop, or if
We'll
we go
blame
back
them.
and wipe out this movie, then everything could be all right with cinema today.
Then we're not going to have all the fucking superhero movies.
That would be a good
really just cartoons.
That'd be all right, actually. You know,
Yeah,
just imagine what it would. Back to imagining what it'd be like as a live action movie. Like, oh, if only. Oh, fuck, how foolish were we as kids?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
But there you go. That was a movie. It was. You know what? I haven't talked myself out of it. I still like
that's
it.
The
I could
tagline.
still watch this again.
Yeah. What was that?
I enjoyed it. I did. I'll probably buy it because I'd watch it again.
Yeah, that popped on. I sort of watch it through, but stuff going on in the background. You know, there's other movies that we've reviewed, and I'd be like, never again.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't even entertain it. But this, yeah, cool. Not just a couple of things offended me, which I've discussed. So,
yeah.
Goddamn coffee.
Like I did see this before. I just didn't remember it at all. And then watching it, there's like certain scenes nipples that like fluxed in my head. I was like, oh yeah, I remember that. But the fact that I didn't remember it as I was actively watching it for most of the film tells me that it's not particularly memorable at all. So I do feel like they could tighten this film up a lot. And if they did like a re-edit, shorten it up just a little bit, it could be a much more impactful
or
film.
maybe remake it in 2020 as an anthology.
I'm tired of remakes. But yeah, they could put it on Hulu.
Do something like that.
Let the mouse do it, and it'll be okay. It's actually better. I thought the Hulu film was really good. I enjoyed it.
Well, I'll find a way. Well, there's got to be a way. There's some way to get this.
Yar.
Yeah. VPNs. I mean,
yep.
But yeah,
there we go.
It's worth it.
Definitely check it out anyway, folks. It
is worth watching.
If
I watched it on Amazon because it's free through Freevee.
Yeah,
you got to deal with ads, but whatever. It gives you a chance to get up, take a piss, or go grab some popcorn or something. So it's worth checking out.
That's how I saw it.
And not the worst paranormal movie.
No,
these are a wee bit of stuff, but.
Yeah, I do think the story, if you just read the two stories that it's based on, just right like back to back, I think that in and of itself is a great little horror setup.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they were, just really fun like settings, just to sort of start this whole, every story within these books of blood is just a ghost retelling their, experience on this dude's skin.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great fucking framing device.
Mm-hmm. It really is.
And it's not a bad film with that in mind. If that story, if Clive Barker didn't write those two short stories that it's based on, and it was just its own thing, I don't think I would enjoy it as much. But I do enjoy it because I know where it comes from.
Mm-hmm.
It just gives a little bit of context to why it exists. And so I don't know. Do you guys think you would even watch it at all if the stories didn't exist?
Yeah, if I had popped on, it would have been something.
I would. Yeah,
I've watched worse.
Yeah, definitely watched
worse than this.
Well, the funny thing is, I
underwater.
I went to go put it on, and apparently I had already started the movie at some point, and it's like I don't remember turning this on at all. Guess I'll go through it.
Yeah,
fun times. Well, there you go, folks. Thanks very much, Kane, guys, for coming on. That's great. Always a blast. We'll put our heads together and see what's next on the list. We're starting to run out of stuff, but
we got a lot of good stuff still.
There's still
some of the best stuff, even.
Yeah, we want to space that out to the end. That's all. We want to finish in the high.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's how Barker. We end. Definitely end with Candyman.
That's the high for you?
What?
That is my favorite fucking slasher. So yes, that's my high for me.
Yeah, well, the favorite slasher can come before the favorite movie.
Yeah, I think. But
Yeah, I think
all right,
democracy.
we'll do a thumb war to see which one we end on, because I think Hellraiser should be the perfect ending.
Okay, yeah, no, that is the way to end it, I guess.
Twist his arm.
Fucking bastard. You know,
I mean, they're both great films, so it's not
They
like
really
one's
are.
puppy
bad.
face now. We'll flip a coin, okay?
Yeah. We'll just do
Yeah,
leg
there's much of
wrestling.
it.
It's like I got a
On
chance
camera.
cube somewhere. I'll just fucking roll it.
In Candyman's defense, there's nice boobs.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a great movie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm focusing on the important bits here. You know what I mean? Gotta maintain.
I mean,
that
that's true.
KPIs.
That is true. That is true.
She has a nice.
give you that.
All wasn't good as the Reanimator. Like that. The actress not a nice.
Barbara
Crampton.
Yeah, on the table. No, I'm just like still back to the end. It's just
great
like,
scene.
they don't make women like that anymore.
Well, they do. They just don't exploit themselves.
Yeah, they have morals or
Oh, for fuck's
self-respect.
sake, get an OnlyFans and shut up.
No one would pay for mine.
Like paying people to stop. People pay me to not put it up.
End it. I'll give you $5 to stop.
Yes, just
Right.
don't do it here. Be a constant threat. But there you go, folks. If you've watched this, let us know what you think. Let us know in the comments. We're going to continue on with this series.
Even though you
Like,
don't
if
want
nothing
us to.
else, they're a laugh. Like, we love Clive Barker. His filmography is just something else. Just
It
something
really
happens
is.
there, and it's fun to go back into and explore. And then we'll move on to other things because there's just a complete wealth of stuff out there that we can nerd about the cows come home.
Yeah.
But thanks again. Keep up to date with the channel. Do the typey clicky things. And until next time, keep it creepy.
And
Keep it horrific.
horrific.